Now, I need a place where to run my code. And an easy thing to do, especially for an experiment, is to navigate to GitHub Codespaces. They allow a certain number of hours for free. In fact, for most people, more than they will ever need. And I'm going to go ahead and create the code for that agent here. Now, as you can see there, I have a number of files, but we can disregard those for now. Now, one of the things to note at the beginning is that we're going to go ahead and set our token, the secret string that we saw before here. This is an old one that I have tried for a different type of experiment that I was running. And so I'm going to replace here this with the new token that I've just created. Now I'm going to go ahead and walk through the code, but first I'm going to go ahead and set this up. This is the permission or the hook that will give me access as mentioned before. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that and save that file. And then we're going to go ahead and actually look at the code. Okay, so as you can see here, I have a blank file. I've called it Discord only python.py, the extension. And I'm going to go ahead and start walking through the code. The very first thing that you'll see me paste here is the imports. We're bringing or we're loading in the .environment package to be able to read that .env file that has our token. Then we're going to go ahead and import Discord, then some functionality for the OS. The next thing that we do is we're going to go ahead and load those environment variables that we will use later on in the code. Then we're going to set up our intents. As you can see here, ensure that your bot can read message content. This is a library that is provided by Discord, and we're simply using that functionality. Then we're going to go ahead there and load that, and we move on to client events. You can see here that once that's up and firing and that is live, we will be able to acknowledge that we have connected. So in other words, when that is ready. Now let's go ahead and move on. And the next thing that we're looking at here is that was just the action that we're going to go ahead and perform. And you can see there that if the message author is the same as the client user, we're not going to do anything, right? Because this is the bot itself. And then we're going to go ahead here and set a hook. And this is simply something that we are defining, that $hello. And then if we match that from the input from the user within Abel's place, then we will simply respond with hello. Now, the very last line there, as you can see, is just leveraging that token when we run here the code. And so that takes us there to the end of this code. So this is pretty minimal. We're simply acknowledging that this has hooked on with we have logged in as, and then we ignore if it's, if we're matching the user. And then otherwise we provide the functionality only one thing at this moment, that if the text is $hello, we respond ourselves with hello. So let's go ahead and run this code and see if we get it working on our very first time. It's going to be Python Discord only, and go ahead and move here our terminal a little bit up so we can see the output. And let's see if that ran. Okay, it looks like it did. And now if we go back to Abel's place and we take a look at what is online, we see Peter Parker data, which is my test account, and we also see Pirate. So Pirate is now actually online. So let's go ahead here and try to interact with Pirate, and we will do our $hello. Remember, this is what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and enter it. And you can see there that Pirate responded immediately, right, to the text that I entered by saying hello. And this is now our bot that is hooked in. Now, the next step would be to connect in LLM to that code. And we will do that on the next step.